We're just about there. We're almost done with the school year in math class. This lesson is actually for, let's see here, May 26th. So it's the day after Memorial Day. Hopefully we'll be able to be someplace on Memorial Day, or at least have a campfire with a friend. First I want to review factoring. We've talked about factoring these simple quadratics quite a bit, but we didn't get to do it together in class. And it is a more complex topic. So I'm covering it again because we're going to need it for next lesson. When I say to you to factor this, I want you, and we're not actually going to do guess and check. I'll show you a slightly different way to do this. I want you to tell me what you can multiply by itself to get x squared. Or what two things you can multiply by one another to get x squared. And that would be x times x. X times x gives you x squared. Now for the next part, I wanted to write there. That times that gives you x squared. For the next part, this value times this value gives you positive 6. Well, what can you multiply together to get positive 6? You can either do 1 times 6, or negative 1 times 6, or 2 times 3, or negative 2 times negative 3. And which of these add together to give you positive 5x? Which of them give you positive 5? And that would be this. 2 plus 3 gives you 5. And that's coming from here. So our final answer then will be x plus 2 and x plus 3. That is what this is factored. Next one, right here. Again, we want to factor this into a binomial times a binomial. And how do we get x squared? What times what gives us x squared? And that would be x times x. And what times what gives us positive 4? Well, what does? What can we multiply by? What values can we multiply to get positive 4? 1 times 4, negative 1 times negative 4, times 2, or negative 2 times negative 2. And the question now is, what can we add together to get negative 5? We need these two values to add together to get negative 5. Well, it's not this one. Ding, 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 ding. Looks like negative 1 plus negative 4 gives us negative 5. So that's x minus 1 and x minus 4. We have now factored this. Next one. We want to factor this into a binomial. What times what gives me x squared? Well, x times x. What times what gives me negative 8? This is the part that's the most critical at this stage in the game. What can we multiply to get negative 8? Let's see here. Negative 1 times 8. 1 times negative 8. 2 times negative 4. Or negative 2 times 4. Those are the only options. And what I want to know now is, what can I add together to get 7? I should have highlighted this too so that you were knowing where that was coming from. What values can I add together to get 7? And I believe that negative 1 plus 8 gives me 7. So this would be minus 1 plus 8. There is the factorization. And for this next one, what can I multiply by itself to get n squared? N times n gives us n squared. And then what can we multiply together to get negative 12? Let's see, we've got 1 times 12, so 1 times negative 12 or negative 1 times 12. 2 times negative 6 or negative 2 times positive 6. 3 times negative 4 or negative 3 times positive 4. And the question is, which of those can we add together to get negative 4? What can we add together to get negative 4? Let's see, not this, not this. 2 plus negative 6, I think that's going to work for us. And that gives us our negative 4. The y's of this, we'll talk about y next year. And there's our answer. That is factoring. There is a link below on the calendar that you need to click, and that will give you some additional practice.